Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of HELL-A-FIED Barbecue. This morning I will be cooking a 9-pound Boston butt, which will probably take around 10 hours to cook because I like to cook it around 235 to 260. So if you like the content, please stay tuned. Also, if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. So thanks again everyone for tuning in. Okay, guys, I have, like I stated earlier, I have a 9-pound Boston butt, so I don't have to do too much to it. I've rinsed it off already, so I'm gonna dry it with a paper towel before I add my mustard and Worcestershire sauce. That, for some reason, that word is extremely hard to pronounce, but my Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna apply that, and then I'll apply my homemade rub that I have here that I used on the ribs in one of my earlier videos. So I'm gonna go ahead with that process. All right, so basically what I do is, well, trim some of this fat off of this side. So I'm not going to trim a lot of it. I'm just going to trim down some so when they break down, I have some fat, but not too much. Okay, that should be good right there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and apply my mustard. Which is my binder. And I don't want it too thick. I'm gonna just apply a thin coat. Then when I add my Worcestershire sauce, it'll thin it out a little bit. And then I'll add my rub. And I'll let that sit probably for about 45 minutes while I get the grill ready. And then it'll be time to put it on once the grill hit around between 235 and 260. So let me finish this right quick. And then we'll move forward with getting the grill ready. Okay. So now I'm going to apply my homemade rub that I made and let that sit for about 30 minutes. I'm going to do this side first here, since I always have the fat side up in my smoker. Set it up like this so I can get this side. And guys, to eliminate cross-contamination, I do wipe my containers off with dishwashing liquid bleach and water when I'm done, because sometimes it's kind of hard not to touch the containers with the hands, even though I have gloves on. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up right quick. Okay guys, I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes, and by that time I should have the grill ready. And once it gets up to 235 to 260, I'll go ahead and put it on. So thank you again guys for tuning in to HELL-A-FIED barbecue. Okay guys, as you can see here, I'm getting my coals ready so that I can start my fire. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started so I can go ahead and get the temp of the grill up to around 160. So give me a few minutes and I'll be back. And guys, make sure when you put your coals in, you make sure your door on your smoker is closed. Make sure the coals don't fall out and hit your grass and start a fire. So like I said, be careful at this stage of the process. Okay, so now that I have my coals in, I'm gonna open my door here. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add a piece of wood so I can go ahead and get my fire burning. Okay guys, as you can see here in the video, it took about 10 minutes for the wood to start burning. So I'm gonna let that continue to burn and then heat up the grill to, like I said, around 235 to 260, and then we'll go ahead and put our meat on. So okay guys, the meat has been sitting for about 40 minutes, and you can see that the seasoning has started to sweat and enter the meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the grill since it's right at around 260, 250 degrees. So I'll be back with you in about 5 minutes. Okay guys, we're at the grill. As you can see, the temp is around 260, 262. So it's time to go ahead and put the meat on. So like I said, I have my meat right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on and let it sit probably for around 2 hours, and it should be good around that time for spritzing. So I'm gonna put the fat side, the heavy side, toward the fire, so it'll get most of the heat. So all right, so there it is guys. So I'm gonna come back 2 hours later to check it to see if it's time to spritz or not. If it is, I have my water, apple cider vinegar, and Worcestershire sauce and spray. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done and move forward with the getting the meat ready for dinner time. All right guys, thanks again for tuning in to HELL-A-FIED barbecue. Okay everybody, we're at the 2 hour mark. So basically gonna come out and check to see if it's time to spritz or not. So let me go ahead and lift this up. Oh man, do you guys see that? Man, this thing looks good. Let me go ahead and spritz right quick so I can close this back up. Let me take this rack out of here right quick since I don't use it. Tell me that don't look delicious. Guys, I want to show you something. If you have like an offset smoker like the one I have, the way to tell that your smoker is burning clean, you should not see a lot of smoke coming out of your smokestack. So I'm going to show you a close-up of how the smoke is right here. So right now, you don't see any smoke. So if you see that, that tells you that you're burning a clean fire. So just a note for all you newcomers. Okay guys, prior to opening the smoker, I basically wanted to show you guys what I'm using as a gauge, so I'll know when the pork butt reaches an internal temperature of 165. As you can see right now, the temperature at hour number 3 is 95 degrees, and I'm going for a temp of 165. So once it reaches 165, I will take it out and wrap it in butcher paper. So instead of having just a time limit, I'm gonna do it based on when the temperature reaches what I need. So okay guys, just a quick note. Okay guys, we're at the 3-hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it and see if I need to spritz it again. Okay, so basically this is how it looks at the 3-hour mark. So we're gonna go ahead and spritz, and like I said earlier, the goal is to get an internal temperature of 165, and then we'll take it off and wrap it and put it back on the smoker. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz, and this basically to make sure that the skin, the outer edge of the pork butt doesn't dry out. Okay guys, there it is. All right, so we're gonna let it sit until the temperature reaches 165. Okay guys, we're at the 4.5-hour mark now, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it again to see how it looks before I get ready to wrap it. So let's look at it again. Looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it again, and I'm gonna keep spritzing until the internal temperature get around 160. So it's almost there. I think the temperature now is at like 118. So we have a slight ways to go, and once we get there, we'll wrap it in butcher paper and bring it back and get it to around 201, and then we'll take it off. Okay everyone, we're at the 5-hour mark, so I'm gonna check the Boston butt again just to make sure everything is okay. Okay, you can see here the skin is splitting, so it tells you that it's cooking as planned. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it again. Right now we're at an internal temperature of 138. So once, like I said, once it get to 165, we're gonna wrap it and put it back in here until it gets to 200 degrees, and then we'll take it off and let it sit wrapped in the paper for about an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it right quick. so I can close the door and preserve the heat. All right, everybody. I'll be back in another hour. So hopefully in another hour it'll be either 165 or close to it. So so we'll be back in about another hour. Okay, everyone, we're approaching the 7-hour mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and check it to see if we need to spritz it again before it reaches the temperature of 165. Right now, if you look at the meter here, it basically shows that the internal temperature to the Boston butt is 152. And like I said, we're trying to reach 165. So we probably got about 45 minutes before it reaches that temperature. All right, so let me go ahead and spritz so I can get this closed. Okay, looking good, guys. Go ahead and spritz it. This will probably be the last time before I wrap it. Okay. Okay, everybody. It's been a while, about an hour and a half. Basically, I had the when you're doing Boston butts, when you get up around the 165 marks, around 155 to 160 mark, it stalls, and you have to increase the temperature up to about 350 to get it past that point. So now I have it at 165. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove it and go wrap it with butcher paper, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, guys, took the Boston butt off of the smoker. So now I'm gonna wrap it real quick and then put it back on the smoker and let it reach the temperature of 200 degrees. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add a little of my homemade seasoning just to refreshen that. Then I'm gonna add a couple sticks of butter. And also I'm gonna add some brown sugar to the top of it. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it right quick. That's the bottom. Yeah, that's the top right there. The bottom. Top. Okay. So now I'm going to put the probe back in it and put it back on the smoker until it reaches 200 degrees. So I'll be back with you in about 5 minutes after I put it back on the smoker. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on the smoker and let it stay on here until it reaches 200 degrees. So right now the temperature says 168. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it on there until it gets to 200. Then I'm gonna take it off and let it sit for about at least 30 minutes, and that'll allow the juices to go back into the meat once it's taken off. So I'll see you guys in about it'll probably take about an hour to get to that temp, so we'll be back in 1 hour. Okay guys, we finished with everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the end result, and hopefully everything came out as planned. So I'm gonna flip this over. And when you see the bone come out clean like this, they tell you it's like butter, baby. I could have let it cool down a little bit more, but it's dinner time, so I'm gonna go ahead and shred a portion of it to eat tonight so you guys can see how it looks. Yeah, I wanted the fat side. Well, oh well. I wanted the fat side up because I like the fat. So. All right, guys, here goes. Let me show you the smoke ring on this piece here. So this is what 10 hours of smoke look like. So like I said, you guys, you can see how juicy it is and how moist it is. I'm pulling it apart with my hand to show you guys how tender it is. So like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you like some of the content, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you again for watching HELL-A-FIED Barbecue. Let me zoom in on this right quick so you guys can see. Okay guys, we finally finished cooking the Boston butt. It took a while, but we made it. So everything turned out excellent. So hopefully you guys liked the content. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching HELL-A-FIED Barbecue.